For more on this, we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by Dr. Diaa Qousi, our water resources expert. A very good afternoon to you, Doctor. Doctor, lovely to meet you too. Thank you, Doctor, for your time this afternoon. Let's talk a bit, Doctor, about the purpose of the South Valley Development Project. Why is the Toshka mega pumping station very important for the development of such a project, sir?
Well, the geographic location of the South Valley Development Project is very important. The solar radiation in the area is very high, which means that you can produce more crops per year. And in such locations, in a country like Australia,
yes,
they can get 5 crops per year from this type of climate. And in the meantime, water is available.
Yes.
And water is actually in supply for the whole year without any problems. One of the disadvantages is obviously the high temperature, which means that the crops take more water than other places. But in the meantime, if you can reduce the age of the crop from say, we have 2 crops per year here in the Nile Valley and Delta, means that every crop takes about 160, 160, 180 days. If you can produce the same crop in the south in only 110, 120 days.
Right. So, Doctor, of course, in such a short period, in a shorter period of time, how does this affect things related, for example, to Egyptian food security as well as water availability?
This is also an important point because,
yes.
Because now you produce a number of crops from the Upper Egypt, although there is obviously a relative advantage in the area for dry dates, for instance. But in the meantime, before we harvest the wheat here in the Nile Valley and Delta, they finished almost now of grain. So it adds to the area. Now we are talking about 10 million faddans in Egypt, which means more food security for everybody.
Indeed. Now, Doctor, let's talk a bit about how such projects can also have other benefits. For example, the creation of job opportunities for Egyptians and Egyptian youth as well, living in these areas.
The agriculture in general,
yes,
is one of the most consuming activities of manpower. So you might have one person serving 1 faddan or more. So when you talk about 500,000 faddans, you are actually adding your labor 500,000 opportunities every year. And this is don't forget also that the Upper in general and the South in general is much more poor in a way than the North.
Yes.
So you produce all these opportunities to people who are in real need to be working all over the year.
Indeed. Now, Dr. Diaa, of course, let's talk a bit about, the necessity and why it has become necessary to integrate modern technology into large infrastructural projects in Egypt. What makes, for example, the Toshka pumping station one of the largest in the world, and how has technology been drawn upon in this regard?
Well, this is not actually the situation in the south only. But I feel that all the people now in the Ministry of Education have to mechanize the whole thing and automize
Yes.
agriculture, because agriculture is consuming 80% of our water. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So when you save 5 or 10% of the water going to agriculture, which means that you are saving a lot of water for other activities like industry and like drinking water supply, etc., and households. So I feel now that the ministry are trying to insert the artificial intelligence technologies into the system.
Yes.
In order to produce more crops for less water, and this is part of the strategy of the country nowadays. Yes.
Indeed, Doctor. Now, of course, a very important part of this project is the Sheikh Zayed Canal. How does this specifically contribute to the project's goals on such a large scale?
Sheikh Zayed Canal is a lined canal. The Sheikh Zayed Canal itself, before it branches to the 4 sub areas of the project, is about 26, 27, as far as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
It is lined, and it is on both sides of the canal. We have trees which produces some shade and reduce evaporation from the free water surface. And the canal itself is very well protected, actually, because the high temperatures. When you are working with high temperatures, then you should always be thinking about the cracking of your lining, cement lining. But the location of the canal is very important with respect to the project, and it receives water from a huge pumping station. The pumping station is located on Lake Nasser, about 200 kilometers south of Aswan. The area in total is the population density is very low in general.
Yes.
But it attracts a lot of people from the Nile Valley and Delta, working not only in agriculture but also in fish farming.
Yes, indeed. Fish farming, another very important project embarked upon, and a rather successful one with regards to mega projects in fisheries and fish farming in Egypt.
Yeah, that's why we call it integrated.
Yes.
of projects, which is not only for agriculture, but agriculture, fish farming, and industrial production, which means that you add value to your crops by sort of packing, by a sort of treatment, and sort of changing the nature of the product, and reselling it, or even importing production from other countries like Sudan. But unfortunately, Sudan are now in a bit of a problem. But it could have been a beautiful place for importing agricultural products from Sudan and adding value to it and exporting it to other countries.
Indeed, of course, Doctor. And of course, this exporting and bridging the gap or closing the gap between imports and exports, specifically with agricultural produce, is another main aim of this project. How important do you see, getting the trade and the balance of trade correct in this regard, eventually moving the scales away from importing more to exporting Egyptian produce?
The location, that's why the location is very important.
Yes.
The location is very close to countries. You are obviously some few kilometers from the Sudanese border, and you are also near to the border with Libya.
Yes.
The border with Chad, and all these. Obviously, if you go to the North Africa, then you are with Tunisia, with Algeria, with Morocco, and with Mauritania.
Mm-hmm.
And the location is very important. And we have some airports in the area. We have a huge network of paved roads, which takes you everywhere in the region. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, you are very close to the Egyptian oasis. You are very close to Kharga, Dakhla, Gharb al-Mawhub, Abu Munar, Farafra, Bahriya, and Siwa, and then you are in Marsa Matruh. Mm-hmm. I think the potential is huge, but it takes some time, obviously. We are now more than 25 years with the project, and the production from the area is sort of filling an important gap in both in food security and in the field of export from Egypt.
Right, we'll leave it at that. I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Diaa Qousi, our water resources expert. Many thanks, sir, for your time and your insight on the afternoon's edition